بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. السلام عليكم جميعاً. أود أن أبتدي بكل الشكر والتقدير لبناء دوحة على حسن الاستضافة، وبالأخص إلى الشيخة مياسة بنت حمد الثاني على حسن الاستضافة وعلى جهودها المميزة لبناء الدوحة لدعم وإنشاء هذه المنصة الإبداعية المهمة والمميزة لعالمنا العربي للتصميم المميز. والأستاذ فهد العبيدلي على حسن التعاون وبناء لي دوحة للتصميم أبدعته صراحة شيء لج الصدر ومبروكين عليه. واليوم سأشارككم برحلة حياكة السدو من الماضي إلى الحاضر، من حرفة نفعية معيشية إلى فن تعبير محاصر إبداعي. أنا اليوم طلبوا مني أقدم المحاضرة باللغة الإنجليزية، فالحين قاعدة أشوف اللي موجودين أكثرهم يعني يتكلمون اللغة العربية، بس لأن حضرت كل شيء بالإنجليزي. Today I would like to take you on a journey, the story of AlSadu, a weaving art that transcends generations, weaving together the cultural fabric of Kuwait. This remarkable story of sound human adaptation and ability and skill will be built like a pyramid, with three distinct layers representing the initiation, transfer of knowledge, and innovation. This pyramid is not strictly linear, it is ever changing, ever connected. We will draw attention to the unintentional continuity of the craft with the intentional, the organic adaptation with the deliberate, comparing different eras that ultimately shaped this remarkable cultural expression. We'll highlight as well the profound wisdom behind the craft and its new role in today's modern living. So let's start at the base of the pyramid. There lies the foundation of Sadu, rooted in the traditional Arabic word for weaving. AlSadu was born from necessity as a practical craft that encompasses various techniques and life skills essential for nomadic desert living. Bedouin societies needed a form of shelter that can be crafted from surrounding materials and that can be moved easily according to grazing lands. The solution was to utilize animal fleece and hairs to build Beit al-Shar, a tent structure which literally translates to house of hair. They learned through trial and error which of these materials served different purposes. One example would be how experience led to the successful adaptation of the use of spun goat hair fiber for the creation of Beit al-Shar. Goat hair is known for the coalescence of the fibers when wet, so boasting an oily property that isolates water and prevents leakage into the house during the wet season. So if there's rain, comes together through the coalescence fibers and closes it off, so no leakages inside Beit al-Shar. During the dry season, it decompresses and lets the breeze easily into the tent. Another important note to know is the role of women in this craft. Sadu weaving was entirely made and manufactured and produced by women. It was part of their domestic responsibilities and served as a functional craft. What's remarkable about these weavers was they could have easily woven a plain piece of fabric that served the purpose. But, however, they had an intrinsic need for self-expression that resulted in complex pieces that reflected different patterns, colors, and various weaving techniques that went into each piece. These intricacies evolved over time into a highly developed art form that allows for significant creativity and expression, a testament to the unintentional evolution of cultural expression. The designs are largely geometric, dictated by the structure and technology of the loom and its limitations. Most of the designs were based on stripes, dots, squares, and triangles, combined together in rhythmic repetition and symmetry, stretching endlessly into the desert space before them. One of the most popular shapes is the triangle. It's used in different configurations, representing, according to some studies, the sublimity through their repetition to symbolize the glorification of the higher power. Master weaver Mtaira Dhufiri also added that it mimics the sujood shape made during prayer. Moving up the pyramid, we'll discuss the generational knowledge skill transfer. This layer was the lifeline of the craft. ensuring its continuity. Bedouin women learned the craft of weaving from an early age, watching and assisting their mothers in spinning, dyeing, and weaving. By the age of 16, they would be able to weave and execute almost all the patterns characteristic of their tribe. Weaving was not a full-time specialty of any woman, but was among the range of domestic skills proper to women. It was the custom that in the afternoon, the women of the tribe would work collectively on tent parts, cooperating from start to finish. However, for the more complex designs, such as the shajara pattern, which consists of a number of separate sections, each showing a geometric inscription depicting some aspect of Bedouin life, the weaver would work alone, reflecting in the process her own individual skills and ability. This thin strip was where the weaver got to express herself freely with motifs and inscriptions, ever flowing like poetry, documenting her thoughts and her surroundings. Such was the importance of AlSadu and the weaver's role within the tribe that a skilled weaver was the pride of her tribe and was accorded great respect and praise, referred to as al-dhufra, meaning victorious, among the Bedouin of Kuwait. As we reach the top end of the pyramid, representing evolution and adaptation, we find ourselves in the post-oil era. Witnessing a transformation in the utility of AlSadu, this functional craft became redundant in its traditional sense, as the nomadic people of the desert started settling in the cities and no longer lived solely in the desert. The rapid socioeconomic transformation had a profound effect on the culture and the craft. Fortunately, through encouragement of the Sadu project in the early 80s, some women of Bedouin origin continued this traditional craft for weaving for economic benefit as well as personal achievement. Weavers adapted to new demands, creating smaller items like cushions to be used in men's duaniyas and wearable pieces, adapting their new woven pieces to new demands. The horizontal ground loom remains the same. The women continue using the same traditional techniques and patterns, but new symbols have emerged that reflect their modern-day surroundings, reflecting motifs like incense burners, cars, landmarks such as Kuwait's iconic water towers, in contrast to the more traditional symbols of combs, constellation, and desert animals. There is still pride expressed and nostalgia felt when a person showcases a family member's hand-woven piece. It is most commonly displayed in the duaniya, a men's reception room, as a statement piece, creating a bridge between tradition and innovation. We will now move to the active and intentional measures of continuity of this craft. Efforts initially started by the AlSadu project started in 1978, which then became AlSadu Weaving Society in 1991. The project was started by a group of concerned Kuwaitis with the aim of preserving and reviving this traditional weaving through scholarly documentation and propagation of knowledge about Sadu weaving as an art form. The foundation of creative processes starts through thorough research and documentation. This step involves creating detailed documents that outline the existing practices and know-how. A permanent collection made up of more than 500 woven pieces have been collected, catalogued, and maintained with care. These pieces showcase distinct characteristics either in meaning or in weaving techniques and materials. Some of the oldest pieces date back to the early 1930s, and some have been added just a few mere months ago. Each period reveals the interplay of human culture, economic dynamics, environmental impacts, painting a vivid picture of the evolving relationship between weavers and their surroundings. One example would be the woven piece named Desert Storm by master weaver Nasr al-Azmi. She had warplanes woven into her shajara patterns, which documented her environment during the Gulf War of Kuwait, where she lost her son as a martyr. This fine piece won Nasr a UN Award of Excellence in the 1990s. The only constant is the weaver, so we have included pieces that would not necessarily be considered traditional in color or material, but we have to accept that we are documenting the now and the multi-generation weavers' interpretations of their environment on this day. The design treasury of Bedouin weaving has had many years of effort and dedication to analyze and study. Founder and patron of AlSadu Society, Sheikh الصباح, has contributed various papers, published 2 books, as well as commissioned publications that document and highlight the craft and its related skills. These skills, as well as her academic personal journey with the master weavers, added a lot to the database and repertoire of knowledge of AlSadu Society, helping cement its place as a leading reference center in the field of traditional textile arts of Kuwait. This rich design treasury as well has helped efforts with accreditations and international acknowledgements. In 2020, AlSadu weaving was registered on the UNESCO Intangible Cultural Heritage Representative List, and the Society is an accredited NGO to give advisory services to the ICH Committee as of 2022. Once documentation is in place, the next step is to facilitate skill transfer and expertise. Again, we're talking about the intentional and deliberate. So we start with the Lensig program. It's a skill-sharing program, teaching and transferring the art of traditional weaving and its related artistic skills through multi-level workshops that serve to build a new textile artist and Sadu weavers. A new generation of weavers have been qualified and ready to pass on the skills to future generations through this ambitious program. The craft is shared within the region through skill transfer, and we have powered a few capacity building programs in the GCC. This craft also belongs to a group of people who chose to live a nomadic life, thriving on the scarcity of the desert, and encompasses many countries and parties. Within an outreach initiative, we cooperated with the UNHCR, United Nations High Commission for Refugees, to create a livelihood project to sustain the regional craft and to give displaced women a chance for financial gain through their connection to this cultural identity and weaving heritage. The weaver is not displaced, as she holds some of her traditional culture in her hands and thus is an artisan without borders. This initiative has been running successfully for more than 3 years. In another capacity of transfer of know-how, the Society developed an educational program, trained the trainers in the art of weaving, donating a full weaving curriculum in collaboration with the Ministry of Education to magnify the impact of AlSadu weaving among the students in Kuwait and to encourage creativity within young students through the art of weaving. This cooperation was implemented on a national level, and the number of students that have taken the art of weaving curriculum has surpassed 150,000 students since its introduction. The study of this initiative was submitted as well to the ICH at UNESCO as a nomination file and was voted in as the first good practices for safeguarding by the ICH by any Arab nation. The pieces you see here, we taught them one specific pattern called الرقم. We felt it was the easiest to pass on to 8th graders. It's more of a tapestry weave, and we asked them to go wild with their imagination, not necessarily sticking to wool material or the colors associated with Sadu. This is a very beautiful program that I wish next time, if any of you visit Kuwait, to come and see the works of the students. Okay. This Bedouin tradition of weaving, distinguished by its geometric designs and rich colors, today inspires artists and designers throughout the world and transcended the woven fabric. SEDI, it's an acronym for the Sadu Art and Design Initiative. It aims to foster and enhance cultural insight and creative artistic expression. It plays an important part in the history and journey of the society. Through this program, young artists are encouraged to engage in an immersive experience of study and understanding of the textile heritage. The main goal is to inspire development of new contemporary interpretations and modern creative expressions, recognizing that culture is dynamic, reflecting human growth, creativity, and innovation. We have had more than 6 cohorts of collective artists in residence, as well as 2 solo residencies up to this day. A lot of different themes have been put forth during these residencies, ranging from rhythm to sustainability to materialities to storytelling to symbolism. These themes help guide the artists in the unique journey into the vast world of the traditional weaving of AlSadu and ensures distinctive, unique art pieces that come into the SEDI art collection. The first steps in implementation of this innovative SEDI initiative started in 1988, when Sheikh Altaf, then director of SEDU project, asked Sami Mohammed, a Kuwaiti sculptor and artist, to introduce new designs in SEDU weaving. He designed various sketches, modernizing certain motifs, and worked with 5 master weavers. At first, the weavers were not very cooperative, as they had not known to learn weaving from sketches, as they had it in them inherently through memory. After persuasion, they produced 12 new wall rugs, which were highly appreciated and sold out within minutes. He now is one of the most prominent contemporary artists in modern-day Kuwait and has a huge collection of pieces incorporating SEDU motifs and designs. AlSadu Street is a dynamic modern cultural landmark, blending history, culture, and innovation, celebrating the fusion of tradition and modernity, blending age-old motifs with contemporary design and use. It's made up of more than 190,000 custom-made brick tiles produced in Kuwait and took over 300 hours and 10 laborers to complete. SEDU patterns were transformed digitally into a grid system that met the nature and shape of the street, without altering the motifs and patterns. The street draws inspiration from AlSadu's vibrant design motifs, specifically the shajara pattern, which is the most complicated design out of the Bedouin weaving patterns. This caused a lot of back and forth, you can see it here, when it comes to the curved edges of the roundabout, as SEDU is very linear. So we had to space it out and innovate a bit with the pieces. And thanks to our in-house graphic artist, Mr. Abdulrazak al-Shamali, we managed to figure it out. And I leave you with the video that we created. And honestly, SEDU project is our latest project. And hopefully within the next few months, you're going to see a few projects unfold. But this is an ode of love to Kuwait, to the manual dexterity of the woman, to the culture. I grew up with SEDU house, so to me it's more of a home. To me it's more of, I don't know where I start, where SEDU starts, where I end. So with this, I show you the video that we created with specially commissioned music for this specific project, where we wanted to merge together the old and the new. We need to say this was done in the summer, in the heat of the summer, and they worked tirelessly. And the workers who worked on this project really felt a lot of connection, because they were used to laying down repetitive colors without any patterns. So they felt a bit of artistry, where they felt a bit part of the project as well. This is the noise of a rababa. It's a desert instrument. With the launch of this project, it was at the same time with what was happening with Palestine, so we decided not to have an official launch, and we just launched it with this video instead. So the days afterwards, you would see grown men coming in, and they're like, where are the camels? We want to ride the camels. But no, it was just to launch it. So you're more than welcome to explore later on what we have written for this specific day, and I think this would be a very good juxtaposition. We're mirroring the old and the new with intentional, with unintentional, and organic continuity. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sheikha Bibi, and thank you to all of you who came to the Design Doha Forum. It was a pleasure to be in your company, and I hope that you will join us again for other programs of Qatar Museums, and inshallah for the next forum, which will happen in 2 years. Thank you.